Alright, YouTube, welcome back to Europe in the year 1718 as it is presented from the heir of Carthage, Poland-Lithuania campaign. Where we left off last time, we were on the way to Stockholm, which is actually one of the settlements that is required for me to capture in order to have victory in the campaign. One of the other settlements that is required for me to have victory in the campaign is right here. It would be Vienna, Austria. I'm going to wait just a little bit before we attack them. I listened to a lot of your comments on where you would like to see me attack and what you would like to see me do. So I think I'll try and incorporate a few different things. Now, Poland is not in the best position to sail to India, but I'll try. I can't guarantee I'm going to get to, but I'll try. In any case, I will invade England. A lot of you asked me to do that, so to all my fans in England and the UK and Ireland, you know, I say England. I understand. I don't know. A lot of you get on to me when I say England instead of Great Britain or all this other stuff. You know what I mean. I'm invading the English Isles. So how about that, including Ireland? I'll be taking them for my own. I didn't know Iceland had a region out here. That's kind of cool. I'm allied with Denmark though, so I definitely don't need to go attack them there. In fact, I should give them back their territory here through diplomacy. That'd be kind of nice of me, since I helped defend them against Sweden. So yeah, I will take the English Isles just for fun. The English also have one other province, but it looks like the Spanish have already taken it. It's down here in Gibraltar, and the Spanish have also moved into North Africa. Now, one other thing I will do is I will go ahead and try and take a province in the New World in the United States. You can see that England has already lost a couple of colonies to the United States, even though we haven't hit anywhere near the 1770s. So they're in control of Acadia and Maine. So not really the best provinces to work with. They're definitely going to want to capture Boston and New York if they want to have a good, solid money base to work with. But hey, I guess the good old US of A is starting. Maybe I'll make a military alliance with them whenever I attack the English. But instead, we got a couple of things to finish. I need to finish off the Ottomans in the south. Some of you made like some interesting comments where you're like, quit being mean to the Ottomans. Why? I don't have any reason not to be mean to the Ottomans. They're my enemy. And they were Poland's enemy in real life, so I most definitely am going to be mean to the Ottomans. Let's go ahead and end this turn. So, yeah, I hope you all are enjoying the Poland-Lithuania campaign. I know that the pace of it has slowed down a little bit because I'm trying to crank out Shogun 2 videos to keep all the new subscribers and fans happy. And also, I think a lot of my old subscribers enjoy those videos. But no, I'm not going to quit the Poland campaign. It may run at a slower pace for a while, or until it's finished. But I mean, it's going to get finished. So don't get too worried about it. I did try and get you some Rome Total War footage tonight. So for those of you who like Rome Total War, but there really weren't very many people online. And maybe now that we're like 7 years after the release of Rome Total War, people are finally starting to realize there's some other great Total War games out there and moving on. I don't know. You know, I'm mainly just teasing here. I still like Rome Total War myself. But, you know, I'm just joking because the game's so old and it still has such a huge fan base. It says these camels are going to be able to beat me. And I got pikemen here, and I got $10 that says these camels aren't going to beat me. And since the auto-resolve is going to screw me, I'll have to fight this myself. Alright, the horde of Ottoman camels is charging me at this point. Trying to see if I'll try and get to where those red lines go away and get a better view. I'm just going to let them charge straight in. Of course, I'm going to shoot the crap out of them. Oh, I didn't realize my general was right up front. Run, general! Yeah, those camels will could actually screw up my general pretty badly in a melee fight, as that's one of the only things the camel units are good at, is against kind of like light horsemen. As long as the camels you know, don't get killed in the charge of the light horsemen, they're actually not a bad unit. Now, a lot of times the AI will charge you while your armies are moving forward, and that's actually a semi-intelligent move. I don't want to give the AI in this game too much credit because it does suck, but it does turn out to be semi-intelligent sometimes, because every now and then they'll catch you off guard if you're not ready to halt your troops. But you can see that these camels, of course, are going to be no match for my pikemen, even though CA made it to where the pikemen use their swords against the camels. They probably should have patched that, but they didn't. So, oh well, you know, it's all water under the bridge at this point, because the game is probably past the age that it's going to be receiving any more patches. Though I think they did do pretty well to patch this game whenever it did have bugs originally. I'm actually kind of used to the way your troops automatically run now on Shogun 2 whenever you just right-click and drag, and I actually kind of miss that. What is this? I didn't know they had actually. Check it out. These guys are like hiding back here. Like, maybe if we hide here, air won't see us. Check it out, man. It just cracks me up. They're just sitting back here behind the fence. Like, yeah, I think that maybe Patchy won't notice here. I do have a bunch of Patchies in the fight today. I got to show you. For those of you who are not as familiar with my campaign, Shogun, you may see me talking about some guy named Patchy. This is where Patchy came from, a peasant unit. And so this was the whole idea. And the reason I call him Patchy is like right here you can see the patches in their clothes when I zoom in. And I think these guys also wear like moccasins for shoes. Now I'm kind of in the tall grass, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it. Well, let's see. I think here this guy's got some moccasins on. Yep, there you go. And he was wearing them in the snow with no socks, and there you can very clearly see the patches on his pants. So that's where the name Patchy came from, for those of you. And you'll have to go back and watch. I think it's like episode 2 or 3, where I start joking and Patchy comes into being, and then I start giving you updates. And then all of a sudden, before we know it, he's gone back to medieval Japan, and he is the leader of my armies. So never would have thought that he would have become so popular. And I use him on like all my games now. So like when I'm playing on other games, you have to name your character. I love naming my character Patchy. So he's become like an icon, not just for you maybe, but for me. And hopefully you all don't get sick of him, because I really like him, and I don't feel like taking Patchy away. So if you all don't like Patchy, then you're just gonna have to learn how to live with him. He's just become a character that I'm just way too fond of now. Let's see if these Ottoman camels stand there and let me shoot at them. Yeah, now they're going to start moving, so I'm going to halt my troops so that my men can fire. I do have fire by rank, but I do not think that peasant units fire by rank, which is, you know, pretty good. It just shows the fact that these guys wouldn't be trained as well as regular line infantry. Here the AI is doing the indecisive decision, or making the indecisive moves right here, where they just run back and forth, you know, not making any decisions and allowing you to shoot them repeatedly. While they accomplish nothing against you. Yeah, so the AI in this game definitely needed a little bit of work. But again, the game was still very fun. So a lot of you also ask me all the time, Air, which one's better, Empire Total War or Napoleon Total War? They're two very different games, believe it or not. You would think that since they're in relatively the same era, that they would pretty much be the same game. They are most certainly not the same game. Sorry, this action's kind of lame. I'm actually just going to fast forward. I don't know why the computer won't just die quicker. Just click an attack order here and go ahead and shoot these guys out. Yeah, so some of you may be saying, yeah, what was I even talking about? Now I'm confused. I lost my train of thought. Oh crap, I'm going to think of it here in a minute. Oh yeah, you're asking me about Empire and Napoleon. That's what I was talking about. The difference between the games is basically you can see that Empire is a much slower paced game. I actually kind of like that. Some people do not like it. So you have to determine whether or not that's something that's going to bother you whenever you're buying the game. The AI is a little bit better on Napoleon, not a lot better, but it's a little bit better. The diplomacy on the campaign map is a little bit better in Napoleon. Again, not a lot, because they did do a lot of patching on Empire Total War, but it is improved, I would most definitely say. So I think that it's something to be aware of. Which one do I like better? I don't really like one or the other better. I do like some of the fluid aspects of the gameplay in Napoleon Total War, but I also very much enjoy the kind of slower paced and the reload times and stuff in Empire Total War that allow you to make cavalry charges in between reloads, stuff that just isn't possible on Napoleon Total War, really. So I mean, there are definitely aspects of Empire Total War I like better. I like the Grand Campaign map. It's much bigger, much more interesting to me than the campaign map. Screw this. Why am I sitting here shooting at these guys? I'm going to show these Ottomans how Air likes to fight, and that is with the bayonet. And my militiamen have bayonets, and I'm going to use them. So the reason the Ottomans are hiding here, you might have seen a second ago there were shots plinking on this wall. Whenever you hide your troops, you'll see that they duck down, and they're able to fire from behind the wall and stay in cover, which generally just helps, probably helps your units be a little more accurate and stay safer. But it won't save you from a bayonet charge, so my men are definitely coming. Whoa, what the heck was that? This guy was doing like some kind of cartwheel or something. These Israelis don't even have any bayonets either, so I'm imagining they're going to be at a pretty big disadvantage when it comes to a melee fight. They're already wavering. I'll zoom in and try and get you some action here. The N key does work in other Total War games, or some of you were saying, Air, you can push the N key and it'll zoom in. I've started doing it on Shogun. It does work on other Total War games as well. Some of you also said that I can hold down the middle mouse button and move the camera, but that actually does not work, so it must be a different button for me. Anyway, that battle was nothing spectacular. I just mainly wanted to have some comment time while I showed it to you, so I'll see you back on the campaign map. Alright, so there once again I proved that the auto-resolve isn't very good on this game, but you know, I've done that so many times that I probably don't need to continue showing that. Alright, just going to get those troops retraining, make sure they're up to full strength. These Ottomans ran away, which is kind of a nuisance. I am going to recruit some militia to garrison the town here, and actually I can recruit 12-pound howitzers here, and also 12-pounder foot and 6-pounder horse. I wonder if I've researched shrapnel shot. So I'm going to go in here to research and technology. I'm just now researching carcass shot. I have explosive shells, and see shrapnel shot is still very, very far away. So I probably do want to go ahead and recruit some howitzers because I can recruit them pretty quickly, and they're very nice weapons to have because of their arc of fire. Now the shrapnel shot is also extremely effective on Empire Total War. It makes, in my opinion, I don't know why they didn't have it on Napoleon Total War. There may be some historical reason, there may not be. I wish they did because it would have made foot artillery much more useful, whereas one of the probably most useful artillery pieces that you can come across in Napoleon, of course, is the howitzer, which is also useful in this game, but it makes foot artillery a little more useful altogether because you can have a more damaging shot from a little more range. So I kind of thought it was cool. I don't know why they took it out. So the Swedes actually have some pretty good defense of their city here, but I'm pretty sure I can take them out with the troops that I have at my disposal, so I'll see you on the battle map for that. Alright, here we are on the battle map. The Swedes are moving up some of their provincial cavalry here. It's just basically light cavalry, pretty cheap cavalry. It is useful early on in the game, albeit its usefulness is quickly depleted as the campaign goes along. My men are not forming up very quickly to shoot, which is kind of angering, and so now they're going to end up not getting their shots off and getting charged. That really kind of peeves me, actually. I don't know why my men weren't forming up. I'll let these guys... Oh, crap. No, don't shoot at them. Sometimes your light dragoons, they'll just shoot, irrespective of who they're shooting at. And sometimes you'll end up killing a whole lot of your own men, so you just want to make sure you get these guys positioned right so that they're not shooting a whole bunch of your own horsemen, because they will do it. So light dragoons are great, but you do have to use them and kind of micromanage them a little bit to get the best effect out of them. For some reason my men are not turning around and fighting here, so they're going to be taking a lot more losses than they otherwise would be. The provincial cavalry is pretty weak. It's probably just about as good as light dragoons in melee, plus they're outnumbered. So provincial cavalry is one of the few units that I don't mind really being in a melee with as far as other cavalry units with light dragoons. Otherwise, the only kind of melee you want to get into with light dragoons is just quick hit and run tactics, maybe on very light infantry. Definitely not against line infantry, like I said, unless it's just a very, very quick hit and run. But against line infantry, light dragoons really excel at just kind of harassing and skirmishing. I am going to fast forward a little bit because, like I said, Empire Total War is a little bit slower than the other games, and I don't really want to wear my troops out by running, so I'll just use the fast forward key. Oh, I see some Swedish cav coming up behind my lines over here. Square, square, square. My guys didn't really form it before they got there, but I guess they're a little bit slow to react, plus they're in the forest. But that's just provincial cavalry, and I don't imagine that they're going to fare very well against my line infantry. Yeah, you can see that these guys are going down quick. Alright, so yeah, they just routed real quick. They might come back to the fight. Square isn't quite as brutal against cavalry in Empire Total War, but it is still very effective. And on Napoleon Total War, of course, when you're in square, it's much more effective when it comes to shooting horsemen who are nearby. And the men reload so fast that it becomes a very real threat to your cavalry, a very constant threat. Let's see. Oh, there's some more cavalry back there. Oh, it's that same one. Let's square again here. So they're going to once again charge into the rear of my men. I didn't take too many losses, though, because that same provincial cavalry just routed and then came right back and charged into the same unit. They may come back into the fight even once again, so I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for them. That is one of the only downfalls, in my opinion, to Empire Total Wars. It does take a very long time to march where you want to go, just because the troops move very slowly. It seemed like medieval Total War was even worse about this, or at least just as bad. However, there are some things that I like about it. I kind of like that when you get into a melee, the melee isn't like instantly, oh crap, play. Yeah, the melee isn't like instantly over, like it is on Shogun 2 sometimes. And I kind of do like that aspect, that the melee fight sometimes takes a little bit longer. Shoot, you nitwits! What the heck are you waiting on, Christmas? I hate it sometimes. Yeah, I mean, there's one of the downfalls, in my opinion, of Empire Total War. Stuff like that, where my men, like, they won't fire until they get completely in perfect alignment. Things like that CA probably should have fixed. They didn't. They would have made this game a little bit better, but a lot of people say this game is unplayable, and I totally disagree with that. This game is extremely playable and extremely fun, and to be honest, would probably be one of my favorite Total Wars if they would go ahead and just fix a few of those things. But still, very much a fun game, even otherwise, in my opinion. So it looks like we're about to get into the fight. Here's a whole bunch of Swedish pikemen. I should have been getting my guys into formation to start firing, because I don't really want to be in a melee with these troops. So I'm going to go ahead and square up, get my guys ready for melee. And then this unit right next to him here, hopefully we'll get some shots off. Yep, there they go. Come on, fire! Stupid nitwits. They got a couple of shots off. I'll just square both of the units, and that'll help them in the melee, and they should be able to defeat those Swedish troops there. My light dragoons are over here unleashing on the flanks of these line infantry, which is going to cause them to retreat. And my men are lining up here too and going to start getting shots. They are in pretty thick ranks, but because I'm in fire by rank, I'll still get pretty good firepower. I don't really need to spread these guys out too much given the current situation. But you really typically want to have your men in 3 ranks, and then that way you'll get the maximum firepower. Light dragoons reload pretty fast too, so they can cause quite a bit of damage to enemy troops. Let's see, these Swedish troops over here in melee. Looks like they are indeed being routed very slowly. Like I said, the melee does take longer on this game. There's the Swedish line facing off with my line. I don't know if my line's firing back. They should be firing back, but they were not for some reason. Huh. Guess they need to reload. I'll let you watch this kind of quick. I love the line fight. Now, they could have used some better musket effects on this game, but I do love fire by rank, and I can't lie, it looks really cool. But I also like platoon fire a lot on this game. Platoon fire is very cool. I think I've showed you that as well. Oh crap, man. Swedes are charging this unit. That's a regiment of horse too. It's a little bit tougher cavalry unit. I'm going to move up my infantry over here to cover. And it looks like they're just bum rushing me with everything they got here. Line infantry and everything. I'm going to go ahead and form up and let my men fire some shots, and then I'll also charge into a melee. Yeah, it looks like the Swedes just wanted to go full out, bayonet charge on me. Pretty honorable, but I don't really think that it's going to benefit them necessarily. There you can see my troops shooting this cavalry, and now that they've expelled some of their shots, I am going to go ahead and put these 2 units into... darn right, I'm going to put them in the melee, because here comes the cavalry. Looks like that unit might get caught on my square. Yeah, they did end up getting caught in my square. That's what I want. I'm going to actually take these 2 units and line them up over here and try and get more shots out. I've got my light dragoons firing shots over here as well. You can see that those things are pretty effective. I've killed 20 of these Swedish line already. Let's see if we can pick another unit and let you watch some of this action. That's kind of a cool view, actually, back in the forest. You can see my light dragoons back there reloading. Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's actually watch a little bit of that real quick. Like I said, I know it's a little bit slow, but I think that's a cool view. You can see my light dragoons back there reloading and taking shots in here. Very cool cinematic view, in my opinion. Yes, that was sweet. So hopefully you enjoy some of the eye candy there. This game does have extremely good graphics. At least I think so. Some people may not. But I think it has really good graphics, and I very much enjoy the graphics. My general's unit's back here. I need to help him get his sword bloody because he's not really a real general in my opinion if he's scared to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and charge him in to the back of these Swedish units. I may get him killed, but oh well. So here comes my general. In the midst of the battle there. I can't actually see my general per se, but he is here. So there we go, that's pretty cool. Able to rout those Swedish troops, and now it looks like the entire Swedish army is pretty much on the run. They fought pretty well. They had a pretty good defense, but you know, how much can the AI really do before it gets defeated? That's the real question. So I hope you enjoyed this. Actually, you know, I guess I'll go ahead and show you the rest of this footage. My light dragoons are getting shot at. I need to get them out of there. I can hear a whole bunch of them dying. Swedes pulled up their line infantry there and started shooting me. I think it's time to just go ahead and run all my line infantry up here. Crap, man. My light dragoons are getting shot to death. Definitely the wrong move by me there. I'm going to pull these guys out. Just get them out of the fight. I want to save them for another battle. Come on, get out of there. This unit is just not responding, so I'm probably going to leave them. Or get them killed is what I should say. The rest of my units I am just going to go ahead and charge into a melee. I'm pretty sure that I've got the numbers and the quality to beat the rest of these Swedish troops in melee. So that's what I'll be doing. And let's see if we can do some hammer and anvil with my light dragoons. I'm not going to leave them on fire at will though, because I don't want them to shoot my own men. I'll go ahead and charge this Swedish unit from the rear, as it'll help rout them out a little bit quicker. Let's actually see if this turns out any good footage. We'll see. It does look cool. I have to say that I really like this cinematic view. Very neat indeed. There comes my cavalry. So you can see the demise of those Swedish troops there, completely surrounded by the Poles. And that is going to be the end of this particular Swedish resistance. They fought hard to keep Stockholm, but they just didn't have the troops to pull it off in the end. And also, again, the AI being the AI had a lot to do with that. Otherwise, they probably could have given me a pretty stout fight. We're going to hit these last couple of Swedish units with my horsemen as well to help try and finish to seal this deal. I'll let you see that also. I kind of like doing the zoom up on this game so you can see some of the action. Oops, let's hit the zoom in button. Of course, it is lagging a little bit when I do that zoom in. But oh well, there it goes. It smooths out once I zoom in. Yep, so there are those Swedish troops being run down by my men. Hope you enjoyed the battle. So Stockholm should now be in our control when we go back to the map. Alright, there's the results from that battle. Turned out pretty good for us. We routed all the troops out of Stockholm, so now it's just going to be these firelock armed citizenry. I can just demand their surrender. Oh, they refused. All the Patchy, all the Swedish Patchies here are refusing to surrender. And good for them, but I am going to actually auto-resolve this assault and take the city. As fun as it would be for me to show you a bunch of Patchies getting slaughtered, not totally necessary. Oh man, the Swedes do have a lot of troops around, actually. They got another army marching down there, and they got all those leftover troops as well. They've even got some cannons. So definitely want to retrain my men. There we go. I can't recruit anything right now because the buildings are all messed up. So we're going to repair the buildings. Hope you're enjoying the Poland-Lithuania campaign. That's all I have time for now. I'll be back in the fairly near future to continue this, and I'll also be continuing on my Shogun work and get ready for the Tokugawa campaign, which is going to be starting soon. So Area of Carthage signing off for now.